You're in Braves country.
Good morning. All right, we took one on the chin last night. Atlanta lose 5-3 to the Toronto Blue Jays. I am Mac McGee. I am your host here on Braves Country. Let's go ahead and get right into it. Essentially, what happened was we blew it with the bullpen. Now, some of the things that you liked got wasted on a loss. And I, for one, can tell you I am about tired of seeing the damn Toronto Blue Jays. I'm over them. They can go ahead and kick rocks for all I care. I'm ready to see them leave town. But we still have 2 more games with them, and we have not played well. Our bullpen has not played well against Toronto. And let's go ahead and get into that real quick. Remember, Robbie Ray, first of all, pitched a great game, 10 strikeouts, 6 innings, did give up 3 runs. You'd like to see the home runs by Acuna and Ozuna. You like to see the double by Pache was great. It was great to see him finally get a hold of one. Hopefully he can get out of his funk because the Braves are going to need it. I know he's hitting 8th, and you're not expecting the world from the eighth place hitter, but you want him to get on base every once in a while. Freddie looks like he's starting to come out of it a little bit. He was scorching hot going into last night, went 1 for 3. Acuna 2 for 4. Right now, by the way, he is my front runner for National League MVP, Ronald Acuna Jr. I don't see how anyone can even be close to that. He just has to, I think if he stays healthy, he's going to win the MVP. I don't think there's any doubt about that. Ozuna getting a home run, that's great, but he's still hitting 203. You hate to see that in your 3-hole hitter. When you've got your number 2, number 3, and number 4 hitters all hitting collectively 220, 203, and 230, they're not getting on base enough. Austin Riley got another hit last night. Riley really is starting to play well, and I'm not saying do anything crazy like move Ozuna down and move Riley up. I don't think we're there yet. I like the way the batting rotation, the batting lineup was constructed last night. For those that didn't watch the game, it was Acuna, Freddie, and Ozuna as normal. The Ozzy thing hitting 4th, it doesn't feel right. I feel like you either need to move him up in the lineup or down in the lineup. You need to have more of a presence behind Ozuna. And I do believe that presence could be Austin Riley. But I think they're trying to force the righty-lefty matchups, right? So we do have a lot of right-handed hitters in our lineup. This is where a Nick Markakis is dearly missed. So I think going forward, you're going to see Albies in that 4 slot. He just doesn't feel like a 4-slot hitter. He's not a cleanup hitter. He shouldn't be playing his game to be a cleanup hitter. Austin Riley should be going for power. Ozzy Albies should be trying to get on base and wreak havoc with his speed. If I were constructing the lineup, I believe I would have Albies in the 2-hole, Freddie in the 3, Ozuna in the 4, and then Riley in the 5 with Swanson, Contreras falling behind. Contreras, we're not expecting the moon and stars from him, in the actual batting. We want him to get things going. I think he's an incredibly talented player. He's going to have his bumps and bruises, though. He's a kid going up against men who have perfected their craft. So I don't expect Contreras to rip the cover off the ball and be some godsend. I will take a Contreras that can hit somewhere in the 250 to 275 range with a little bit of a pop and go from there. Pache, you just want the guy to hit 250 with his defense. He's worth having up there. Right now, Pache's hitting 119. 119. It's just absolutely terrible. Now, as far as Bryce Wilson goes last night, he pitched a pretty solid game. Maybe they left him in a little late, but I think all in all, he pitched a solid game. That home run that he gave up to Guerrero, Guerrero hit a good pitch. And it shows you why Guerrero is so highly coveted. Matzik came in. He did fine. But then Minter came in, and I'm not going to kill Minter. It's one game. Minter has done enough for this team where you don't question one bad outing. But man, was it a bad outing. We don't have to go into the whole thing with it. But the defense in that inning, the terrible, it was a bad outing. He didn't get a single out. He gave up 3 hits, 3 earned runs. And Jacob Webb came in and pitched okay. He pitched fine. Same thing with Jesse Biddle. You'd rather see these guys come in and not let guys get on base, but if they don't give up the runs, it's a Luke Jackson type of outing. Maybe not quite as bad. Luke Jackson more likely to load the bases up and make you sweat to death. But remember, help is coming, all. We are getting Shane Green and Chris Martin in the very near future. And hopefully we'll get more news on that later on this afternoon with Chris Martin. I figure Shane Green, the way that I read the tea leaves there, it looks like it might be a week for Shane Green or so. So really just comes out. He says he stayed in shape. We'll find out. If it takes him till the end of May to come back, then we know he was lying. If he comes back in a week and a half, then we know that he was staying in shape, continuing to throw. But you still they don't want to rush him back. A lot of fans are like, just get him in. They don't want to rush him back and create an injury or bad habits, and that he's not worth a damn for the rest of the summer. It's a long season, and we will be in it till the end, but you just can't keep putting off playing well. Braves are now 2.5 back as the Mets win again. They've won 6 in a row. We talked about this earlier in the year about the fact that the Atlanta Braves, if they do not get their act together, one of these teams was likely to catch hot and run away with it. And the Mets look like the best team to be able to do that because of the pitching. Now they've lost DeGrom, so that's going to put a bump in the road, but they're still looking up at the Phillies and the Mets. Washington has not played well at all, but they'll be getting Strasburg back, and it won't take long for the Nationals to be able to rattle off wins when you have Scherzer and Strasburg and Corbin, who's been pitching better. So Atlanta's got to get it together. That's just all there is to it. Tonight's game, looking ahead to that, we've got, obviously, the Blue Jays are still in town, and we've got Max Fried coming to the Hill. Max Fried against Ryu. This is going to be a tough game, y'all. If you have not watched Hyun Ryu pitch, he's a crafty left-hander. He's going to try to change speeds, get you off balance. He pitches away from the plate. The ambushing does not work with Ryu. This could be a tough night. You hope that Fried's up to the challenge, but Ryu will not give in. Remember, he was the Dodgers for years. Ryu came in over on a free agency, signed the big deal to get paid. But Hyun Ryu is one of the best lefties in baseball that nobody talks about. And he's coming off his second start since the IL stint. So he's going to be, look, he's got a 3.31 ERA. I went back and looked at his game log. He's been pretty solid across the board. There's not been a situation where you're like, I don't know. Yeah, is he right? Is he playing well? His last game, not what you want, but 5 innings, 4 earned runs. It's not the worst thing on the planet. When he was injured, he was rolling. And he had great outings against the Yankees where he pitched 6 2/3 and a shutout. He pitched another very solid game against the Rangers where he 7 innings and 2 earned runs. And he's actually beat the Yankees twice this year. So this is the kind, and the game plan has got to be fill the pitch count. Get him out of there. Get to that Toronto bullpen. Get to the middle of that Toronto bullpen. They can be had. Max Fried, it's really going to come down to him tonight. We need 6 solid. You'd like to see 7 out of Max Fried tonight. You want to be the ace. You want to be the guy. This is where we need you at. We're going to struggle to score against Ryu if we go in with that ambush approach. And I know it's hard because Freddie does not like to work the count. Acuna does not like to work the count. Ozuna does not. We could have had a chance for a big inning that first inning going back to last night's game. Freddie and Acuna had second and third stolen. It was first and second, nobody out. We could have had first and second, nobody out. Excuse me, second and third, nobody out. They had a double steal on, and they had the jump. Robbie Ray was not paying attention. It was a done deal. It was a 1-0 pitch. And Ozuna just could not help himself. He swung. Look, 2 strikes, I get it. You got to protect yourself. But you've got to let that go. You see those guys in motion, you see they got something on? Hold the bat. That could have been a huge inning if it wasn't for that gaff. It's not guaranteed. We know that. It's not guaranteed at all. But that could have been an absolutely huge inning. Instead, the Braves only get 1. And they end up losing by 2. You need more crooked numbers on the box score. And you get it by doing the little things right, and we did not do them right last night. That's between Minter's breakdown and the breakdown of the mental breakdown of Ozuna. Yeah, he came back and hit a home run later, and that's great. But he brings more to the table if he lets those 2 run. Hell, if they let the 2 of them run, you don't know what happens from after that, right? Because the next thing that could happen, first of all, so he finishes the game. That's the sound that the show's going to come to an end. He finishes the game with 1 hit, 1 run, 1 RBI. If he lets the 2 of them steal and gets 1 single up the middle, he's already doubled his RBI production without having to hit it out of the park. And you don't know what that does to a pitcher. That could rattle a pitcher. Second, third, nobody out. I'm pitching around you because I'm trying to strike you out. Next thing you know, you walk, the bases are loaded. That's how you get it. That's how you get rallies going. So tonight against Ryu, I would like to see more working of the count. This is a pitcher that you can't ambush typically. At some point, the top 3 batters of that lineup have got to start eating more pitches and working the count. You cannot let these pitchers get deep into the ball game because you're not really running the pitch count up on them. And that is the Toronto Blue Jays' Achilles heel is the bullpen. We got to get to the bullpen tonight. All right, we'll go ahead and take off. We'll see you tomorrow. A Braves 7:20 first pitch. Come on, Bravos. Let's get this damn thing rolling again. We got 2 against Toronto. Then we got to go to play Milwaukee. And then we get the Mets. Let's get a winning streak going. I don't want to see this crap again when we pull another 4-game losing streak. We'll see you tomorrow.
You're in Braves country.